need something to get into. Pretty girl on deck.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Podcast. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We got somebody special to me. I watched her grow into the woman that she is right now, and always about family. And it's going to be a good night with Tisha Carter.
Thank you.
And we got her assistant, Regina.
That would be me.
God bless you. Glad both of you are here. And I got my co-host, Toya Capri, the money-minded young lady. And tonight we're in the absence of the other co-host, Lady Z, the hottest goddess. And we want to have a good show. We want to have a real show. We thank our community for following us and giving us the encouragement to keep going, because it's about love for us. We want to show love to the community, show that people are not doing, everything is not negative, and somebody is doing something right. And we want to share that love with our audience, and we appreciate our audience looking at us. Our sponsors, we got Viola Shy. They got those daily specials if y'all want to get high. I mean, say hi.
Hey.
Say hi. Say hi. So they got those daily specials. Then we got the Blue Note that's offering, different events, or you can use their place or rent out their place for different events. Then we got the View, and the View's coming up with their anniversary. This is their first year anniversaries for the month of July, and I think it's around the 25th of July. I don't have all the dates, but that whole week they're going to be doing something special. Then we got two new sponsors. Trevor Black, Chicago Chicken Shack, the Kickin' Wayne Kane.
Hey,
So he's in the building. And we also have Stacy's Cafe in Bellwood on Manheim. She's just became a sponsor. So we're just trying to do the right thing, and we appreciate y'all supporting us. It's a beautiful thing. So, and then last week we had guests, Tennille Campbell and Deanna. I don't want to pronounce her last name because I'll chop that whole thing up.
We all will.
Okay. So how was the show last week? Because I wasn't here.
You was here.
I was.
You called in. You weren't gonna let us get too far away. It was great though. It was really good. A lot of great information about their up and coming events. So really nice.
And what do we have coming up? We got a couple things coming up this week.
Oh yeah, the All Alumni Picnic again is scheduled for not this week, but the following week,
July
20th. And then Stoney's Chicago Cigar Week event starts, July 16th through the 21st.
17th through the 21st.
Okay, yeah. I was close.
And then he's going to have that young man, the comedian. What's his name?
I forget his name, but he's hilarious.
But he's the one that do little skits on Instagram about him and his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
So he's from Chicago. I'm going to have to do better. I'm going to have to write his name down. But
he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. So we wish the alumni picnic, we wish you well along with Stoney and that weekend. And it's going to be a good thing. But we also had a world's largest stepping event this week.
Okay.
They was at Visions the other day. They was at I think the 50-yard line. They're gonna be at the Blue Note tonight, and then they got 2 or 3 other events Saturday and Sunday. So it's gonna be nice. But I'm going to see Earth, Wind and Fire in Chicago.
Okay.
All right.
When?
Really
Tomorrow night. Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing. But at the end of the day, this young lady, I remember when she learned how to step at the Pines.
Oh, I remember the Pines.
Yeah, the Pines. And
Pines.
she had 2 left feet, and now she a professional.
Now she rolling.
Listen. The transformation, I went 1 year, the next year I came back, she had the floor in control.
She like, I'm gonna be ready.
It was like Holly Berry and what's the name of that movie? Strictly Business. Remember that when she with my man? But you like that stepping though.
Oh yeah, it was natural.
Yeah.
My mother stepped, or she bopped.
Okay,
Oh,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I
Old
was
school.
5 years old watching, so I knew a little bit. I just couldn't put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But yeah, so we got that event coming up, and it's beautiful to have you here. Tell us about you. Tell us who you are.
Well, my name is Tisha Carter. Um, I am the owner of Hair Ecstasy Beauty Salon. I am a stylist that's been in this area for 34 and a half years now. Um,
It's a long time.
yeah, I've
Congratulations.
seen some come and go, but
Mhm.
um, it's been great. It's been great. The community, just to see the growth and how the hair business, it elevated, but then it declined.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I just ask this question: how did the hair game change when you was first into the game, and then now they start selling human hair and all kind of hair? How did that change your industry?
Oh, I think YouTube probably was the disaster of our profession. I can remember I started at Try Me Barber Salon,
20th and St. Charles with
20,
Jackson.
21st and St. Charles,
Okay.
Robert Jackson.
Yeah.
He was the owner. He was probably the most influential person in my life at the time because I watched him. I watched how he managed his salon. Um, he taught me the business side of it. And he said, "You're going to blow your money, but at some point, you're going to see the money behind you and you're going to figure out it can't stay behind you. You have to get ahead." And to see all of the entrepreneurs that came out of his place, it was motivation for me. Um, so I believe that working with him and the older stylists, Carol and Ruby, what was Jazz, and oh, there's another one. I took her spot. She was pregnant, and I took her spot. And he said, "I'll let you come over here and work for a couple of months." And I thought, a couple of months, he gonna change that when I get in there, you know. So
Right.
I got in there, and I learned so much in 2 months that he said, "You can't go. We gonna find you a place." And he stuck me in a window, and so he made a station in the window. And I think the thing that was awesome back then was the older women could embrace the younger ones and teach us some things, and we actually listened. Today it don't work that way because they come and they think they know it already. But then, I learned about money management and placement and things like that. That's so majorly important to survive. And so I would say back then it was genuine, and we learned from scratch. Like, you got to crawl before you walk. You got to start somewhere before you think you've got it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So when you in there, you're learning from the older women and whatever the case might be. How do you choose the people that that you want surrounded around you? Like you got Regina here. How do you choose Regina?
So Robert has said to me, well, I called him Rob. That was the name that we all called him. So
Right.
Rob, um, he said, "I want you to help me to bring some young folks in here." So I don't know how I met Regina, but that's when we started working together. It was Regina and Robin, and we had a few others that has come in to try me at the time we were there. And I'm gonna be very, very honest. I mean, I can't be no more honest than this. I was young and dumb. I knew what I had, but I didn't know what to do with it. Um, I did get them to, I've always been a teacher. And so back then, I felt like if it was anything that I knew, I was going to help. But I didn't know my way of helping was also hurting. So it might have helped in the industry, but it might have also hurt in the relationships. So then I can say I didn't know how to put, keep the workers or keep the clients because I thought I had it all.
Okay. Okay. And then what role do you play, Regina? And because she brought you, she said, I want Gina on this show right now. She was a gangster with it. But she wanted you here, and that's love. That's what we call the love movement. Because she wouldn't have brought you in if she didn't trust you in some kind of way. So what's your role in it?
My role is sister, friend, manager, and we've raised our children together. We've been as long as we left from when we left Triming, that was our bond, and from there we've been rolling together.
Well, that's one thing that I've noticed about on her Tisha's page. You love family.
She does.
Oh my God. I look at the page. If it's 50 people there, all 50 gonna get in this picture. If it's 2 there, 2 gonna get in this picture. But you grew up with that family atmosphere. That I mean, I got the chance to know the Carters when I got here in 1980, and then I used to open up the gym and whatever, and our sons played together and all of that kind of stuff. But Blackjack, your granddad, that was a mean man. I mean, he was not mean in a personal sense, but mean by his character. It spoke for itself. Is that where you got your family from, your family attitude from?
Absolutely. I never understood broken families because my family never taught us that. If one had it, we all had it. There was plenty of times my grandmother just opened the door to anyone. If you didn't have a place to go, she was, hey, come on in. Who are you? Whatever, just come on in. You got a place. My grandfather, now, on the other hand, they called him Blackjack for a reason. So, he kind of like, did what my grandmother said. It's like he gave her a hard time, but he didn't show love too soon. So I think knowing the way my grandparents were, you're a kid and you see a husband and wife still together at the age of 50, 60, 70, and they live to be married, I think 37 or 38 years. So oh wait, am I saying that? Yeah, I'm saying 60. I'm sorry, 30. They live to be together 62 or 63 years. My mother probably is cussing right now. She don't cuss, y'all, 'cause I don't remember that. But anyway, when you see that, as a young girl, I know I was growing up saying, wow, I want to do that. I want to be like that. And not only that, like the way that they kept the family together, like, my cousins grew up, and I am not lying to y'all. My cousins grew up as my siblings.
I believe that.
My uncles grew up as my brothers. We are
I believe
hilarious. And
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. They say, oh, is that your cousin brother? They're like, yeah, it is. Because my grandmother never denied anyone. And my grandfather, once he got a chance to like you, he loved you.
Listen, Blackjack Jr., that's Linda Carter.
Oh, yes.
They call her Blackjack as well. My friend. We've been knowing each other ever since I came to Maywood. We used to be at the Horseman together, stepping and stuff like that. We've been stepping forever. But at the end of the day, she's been with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
Linda's
A1 from
Could you imagine someone who has been the boss all your younger years and you turn around and be their boss?
Yeah.
So the role has changed.
And she embraces the role.
She
Oh, she
loves
does.
it.
She embraces the
Yes.
role, and she sit in that chair and do what she do, and I'd be just like smiling at her and stuff like that. But that's a beautiful thing, to bring your family in or whatever the case might be. But I want to ask Toya,
Yes.
what 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 are the things that a woman chooses a stylist? What are some of the things that she take in consideration
Ooh-wee.
for choosing a stylist? Because everybody's different.
Yeah, it depends on your palette. I know for me, like reputation is everything. Like, for me, it's not just about the art of um, the craft. I care a lot about that, but I also care about the ambiance, meaning I don't want to go in somebody's shop and it's a hot mess.
Judo, verbal
From the
judo.
perspective of just messy. I don't like those types of environments. So that's just as important to me because, women care a lot about aesthetically how they look. And you're going to spend a lot of time, usually,
You spend a lot of money too.
a lot of money
Yes,
and
yes.
time, which is valuable in the shop. And it's about relationship. How do I feel when I'm in their presence? Like, are they snooty? Are they, am I just another? I care just as much about when I'm going to a doctor's visit, bedside manner, as I would going to a beauty shop. Same concept, really, right? It's about connection. I choose to spend my money with people that I enjoy their company. So again, it's not just about for me. Now, I love somebody that can lay some hair all at the same time, right? But it's about the total package. It's about service.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, because I don't go to the barber shop no more. Y'all see. So, but at the end of the day, you sitting in that chair. Somebody's sitting in that chair, and you got a spirit that something ain't right with this person today. So now you got to become the counselor.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Y'all get an earful. Y'all get an earful.
We really don't, not
No?
anymore.
No.
So I think I'm gonna just rewind just a little bit. There was a incident that happened in our salon that we were put out for close to a year, may have been a year. And we had a fire, and going back in, I vowed I had changed years before that, but I didn't change enough. I didn't have peace. But when I went back, I had thanked God for allowing me to redeem myself. And I vowed that when I got back in those doors, customer service was going to be the most important service that I would offer. Even though I love my craft, and you can tell by the work that I do, but I also love to see the face that comes in be pleased with what they've entered into. And so my biggest thing now is reviews, and not just a positive review, but a true review. Because if you tell me negative, then I know what I need to fix. And that,
if you see that negative, if you see what they're saying,
absolutely,
if you say, they might have a point.
Absolutely.
Then I wanna try to switch it up.
Absolutely.
Now, Regina, what about you? You're a stylist. You had them women sitting in that chair, and you could feel the spirit that they don't. How do you have? What? Give us one of those talks that you had with one of your clients.
My recent conversation was because I went through a failed marriage, and how do you
I did
get
too.
and how do you get past that? I told her I got past it through prayer and putting myself around people. Because what I didn't do was I didn't let no one know I was going through it. So when I learned that I had to just be boisterous and say, okay, it happened, I owned up to my part and not everybody's part. So when I had that conversation, she called me a week later and said, hey, thank you. I'm able to look at my child's father now and be okay. I said, well, I'm glad I can give it to you.
Yeah, and because people get a divorce, that don't mean nobody right or wrong.
Right.
Because you don't have relationships forever. I mean,
Yeah.
when you start off as a kid trying to find out your way and it don't work or whatever, I told them, when I went to prom, I took the girl to prom. We went to watch the sun rise up. I asked her about going to taking her to the picnic the next day. She said she didn't want to go, and I I decided to go anyway, and I went because she had to take her mama to the doctor. That's what she told me. So when I get out there, my friends ducked their head with her, and she was there with another guy.
Oh my goodness.
Chris,
I listen,
that hurt your little heart, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Kind of hurt. Shoot. So, but what I'm saying is, in talking to people in relationships, people have all kind of little troubles that they go to, and sometimes they don't know who to talk to.
Right.
Right.
Because the preachers and they have given them another, look, because now the little boy, the priest is messing with the little boys, and they don't want to share. So they feel close to you because you know what? They're giving you their money, and they feel that they should be able to trust you. So you might not do it right now because it's a different world, but before you were doing it, and it was when I was a police officer. It was just like talking to people, and I don't want to lock you up. I could lock you up, but what does that do for the family? Now I got to take the money out the family. You got all of that kind of stuff. So it's different ways to work out things. So I'm glad you guys are working it out. Now, as a hairstylist, and now you want to separate yourself from everybody. So you got inspired by Mr. Jackson. How did you make your move?
They ran us out of there.
They did.
Oh, they ran. They were shooting, and
Yes.
I heard the bullets coming towards the building, and I said, Gina, I gotta go. And she said, if you go, I'm going too. We ended up going to 2 different locations, and I was working for another young lady at the location that I'm at, and she decided a year later that she was not going to be able to stay open. And I went to my aunt and my grandmother, and I said, hey, I've never wanted to bounce around and go from salon to salon. What can I do? And my grandmother, anyone to tell you back then, was a diehard for me. So she said, we're going to do whatever we need to do. And we never closed the door. One owner left on Saturday and a new one came on Monday, and that was me.
708-223-8953. If you got any questions for these 2 young ladies, please call 708-223-8953. Now, so what are some of the pros and cons? What are some of the ins and outs for you being your own boss now? What were some of the challenges that you had?
Oh, challenges. Loving my family the right way and running my business, because you're pulled and you're trying to perfect everything. And I think I didn't know the balance. I didn't know how to balance being a mom. I didn't know how to balance keeping my house in order, or the salon. It was one or the other. And I had to come to terms with myself that, you chose all these things and you're not I was in my 20s. I was 21 when I got the salon. But as I got a little older and I made the mistakes, I had to realize that something had to change. And I chose the salon. When I chose the salon, that's when things changed. You can tell what I favored, because what I favored highlighted. So when I favored my partying days, my stepping days, you could tell, because then my salon was in shambles. Well, when I favored my salon and I did the right thing, I started doing the right thing by my children, then everything started changing. So for a young salon owner, I would say you need counseling. And if you don't get counseling, you definitely need some guidance from experienced owners so that you can know the pros and cons and what you should and should not do, what you should do on your own, and what you should outsource and pay others to do for you.
Yes.
That
Now
balance.
you got how many employees? Because you offer different services in your salon. You're very diverse in
Yes.
what you're doing. How many different employees do you have, and what services do you offer?
It's 14 of us. Um, we are totally full service. We offer nail care, makeup and facials, all anything that you can think of when it comes to hair. We handle all those avenues of the hair. Um,
Eyelashes.
Eyelashes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we covered it. we're full service.
full
Yeah.
service, and so in the game you have your challenges. You have the things that. What are some of the things you sometimes go home and smile about? Some of the
Oh,
benefits that you've accomplished. What do you be by yourself with a glass of wine and champagne or whatever, and you just say, "Wow."
I think just looking at the employees, most people that come in say it feels like family. And I think I have a whole lot to do with that because I am really, really pushing that if you bring an I to team, it doesn't work for us. And so to go home and think about the day, it doesn't have to necessarily be any particular thing, but just to know the love that I feel back as well as the love that I see that's shared. Everyone seems to be like happy to be there. And if they're not, they don't usually stay long. So yeah, another thing too, to see the reviews and to see what others think of us, you know, I just smile. It makes my heart happy to know that I can make someone else happy, and I don't even have to touch them.
Yeah. And you just being, it sounds like
Yeah.
what you're saying is you're creating an environment that's authentic and it happens naturally. And
Mhm.
it's not
It does.
something you have to work hard at. And when other people recognize that, that's gratifying.
Absolutely.
So,
And everybody wants good service.
yes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're fighting with China Walk to keep that lot. Y'all fighting for parks and stuff like that. And so that's heartwarming to me because I walk sometimes down Roosevelt, do my little walk, and I be seeing the fights and stuff like people trying to get shit. We're on the horn.
Yeah.
Hey, I was here first, and all of that good stuff. But in the experience, you decided to say, "Hey, I want my own thing. I want to do my own thing." Uh, as an entrepreneur, how do you feel? What does that make you feel like? I mean, you're a heavyweight as far as I'm concerned. I see a lot of people doing things. I see Burrell on TV shows, Emmys. I see whatever the case might be. But your Emmy come from your heart, and your how does that make you feel now? 30 years in the game.
Ah, speechless. I guess I don't know it, and I guess it's making me a little emotional now. Um, I don't know it until I hear it because I don't do any of the things that I do for acknowledgement. Um, I help, I teach, I encourage, and not always for money. And so when I hear it down the line, like I can remember for my birthday, my daughter brought all my friends, and I love having friends.
Oh, yes.
I don't care what y'all say back there in social media world. I love having friends. If you don't have friends, something wrong.
Mhm.
I'll bring a new friend to the team 6 months later, and they like, another friend. So my
said,
daughter,
listen,
my
we can't go
daughter,
anywhere without her grabbing a new friend.
I just got a new friend last month. So
Yeah.
but my daughter brought my friends and they did a video for my 50th birthday. And I heard my best friend from when I was a baby. She said, what she loves about me is the way that others love me. I didn't know, I mean, I'm just me,
Right.
and I'm not trying to be anyone else. So the growth and knowing what I used to be is not who I am today. And so I'm just at awe to know that I have an impression over people, whether they know me or they don't. Um, that's a great feeling to walk into the room and someone likes that you've entered their presence.
Mhm. That's great.
Man, listen, and I'm gonna throw this jab in there anyway. How do you feel going to the Chicago Bulls game, watching your cousin Javon Carter on that basketball court?
Bad boy on that floor. Bad boy.
It's a great feeling to see him out there. I mean, my grandmother would stop service at church to tell my pastor, hey, I got one thing to say. Did y'all see the Maywood Herald? Because my grandkids is in the Maywood Herald. They're gonna make it to pro.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great feeling. I know that if they were still here, man, they would be. My grandparents followed us all and they believed in us all. So they would be ecstatic. Yeah, absolutely.
Javis, right?
No,
I've
no,
known-
that's
no, I know
yeah.
Javon, but
Yeah.
I know
But
Javis
Yeah.
too.
Javi started it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we followed him first
Mhm.
in his career. So I mean, the family, Leroy, and we used to play at the Rec, and then I used to open the gym up at Lexington, and Keith Carter, and all of those guys would come up, and they would bring the boys with them
Mhm.
because I would bring mine with me.
Yeah.
So they run around that gym together and get in the way, and people yelling, "Get your out the way!" You know what I'm saying? But they were determined to do what they were doing. I mean, out of four of those kids, out of six of those kids, four of them went to the pros.
That's what's up.
So, and that man, God bless them. God, Lord have mercy. So, but yeah, you being there and they announce his name, Javon Carter. What that make you?
It's a good feeling. I had to tell someone like, yeah, I said Carter. My last name is Carter. Your last name is Carter. If I shave my hair off, you'll see from the back.
And Sterling used to stay over there over the 11th. That
Yeah.
was he say, "Oh man, where you going?" "I'm going Key House. I'm
Yeah.
going Key House. I'm going Jubon House." I said, "Okay, boy, see you later. Y'all have fun." So now here it is. You're 30 years in the game. You've had your share of experiences. You had your share of challenges. You had your share of ups and downs. What advice would you give a young lady or a young man, whoever, that's aspiring to be a hairstylist, to become their own? As you went through what you were going through, what advice would you be able to share with them?
So I have two different things. If you're just trying to be a stylist or barber, nail tech, makeup artist, believe in yourself. Uh, the work that you put out. It's not just about styling the hair or doing the makeup or whatever it is that you're doing, but believe in yourself. And if you're not gonna give yourself that service, don't give it to the client. I've always told my stylist, everybody that works with me, would you wear that? Because if you wouldn't, you shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then the owners, um, have a team that believes in you. Because if they don't believe in you, they're not working for or with you. They are working against you. If your team comes in and it's hard, it's probably not meant for you. Because usually what I always say is when I gravitate and grab new stylists, I want them to be able to do what I do. So, hey, we have in class Mondays, Sundays, whichever you choose. You tell me, and we coming in and we working on it. If I see a stylist over there and they struggling, a client's complaining, we gonna practice that. Ask that client, can they come back a couple more times? We not charging them, and we gonna keep on working at it until we get it.
That is true. Awesome.
That's awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
true.
good advice.
Mhm.
So now, when you're telling them, your little the challenges that you had, and this is 30 years in the game, and I keep saying 30 years because that's amazing
Mhm.
to have your own business as an entrepreneur for 30 years. Because a lot of people would have gave up during COVID or whatever the
Oh,
case might be.
Mhm.
But now you have a 30-year celebration coming up.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, First, before we get into that, tell the people how they can get in contact with you and the number that they can call and whatever the case might be.
We can be reached at Hair Ecstasy Beauty Salon. We're located 9912 Roosevelt Road. The business number 708-865-9822. Um, we still have tickets. We're still looking for stylists and barbers. The whole purpose of the show is not for us; it is for the industry. We want to showcase barbers, hairstylists. We're even showcasing makeup artists and nails. This was all about just a celebration for the industry.
So, and you got some bad girls around in this area right here. I know some bad girls
Hmm.
everywhere, but I'm particularly for the Chicagoland area. And now, you you got some previous owners that work for you. They had their own shops.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It's a little different, ain't it?
it is different. So I don't know if the right word is called deprogramming, because it's a challenge when someone is used to doing things their way,
Way. Mhm.
at their own place, and the way that I want things. It's a brand. It's about your brand. If it's your business, you want things to come in and out as your own. And so I'm not telling anyone that comes and joins the team that they can't do things a certain way. I'm just asking, if you want to be here, can you just make this look like our brand? I've never called that place mine. I
That's true.
call it ours. I want them to leave this place as if anyone in the room has done the service on them.
Mhm.
And so sometimes, you get the uh old salon owners, for whatever reasons. It's not always that they lose their place. It's sometimes they just don't want to have their own anymore.
Mhm.
And so, we just it becomes a challenge when you say, no, let's not do it that way. But like I said before, if they trust in you, they believe in you, they know I'm not telling them wrong, they pretty much adapt to what we have going, and it works.
Mhm.
That and do you do refresher courses? Do you have how does your meetings and stuff go when you coming in?
Absolutely. Um, like I stated before, I come in on Sunday and Monday, and it's not just for my staff. I'll do it for anyone, any stylist that wants to just further their education. It might be something that I'm doing that they can't. I don't charge for it, and I know I could, but that's never been what this game is about for me. I've embraced just three young ladies in the past week. And, I told them, come work with us for the hair show. You can see what it's all about. I used to go to hair shows back when they had them in Detroit. That was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's things that I've seen and I've experienced that some of the younger generation could not even imagine. And so I just tell them to come on and help. Come on and join us. If you want to throw a head out there, you can. I have no problem with it because that's what this should be about. It should be about that's how we're gonna grow. That's how we're gonna take over from YouTube hairdos because everybody, you're not getting the right hair care mainly. Not only that, but I'm sure if you cutting your hair from a YouTube video, it's jacked up.
Yeah, yeah. I got a question for you. Who do your hair? You do your own hair?
Um, Me, my daughter, my sister, because my daughter is a hairstylist with me,
Right.
and my sister, Jassy, she used to work with me. She still does my hair as well, and then my braider in my salon, she braids my hair.
Okay,
Chandrika.
that's good stuff to know.
Mhm.
Now, I want you to break it down and tell us this celebration, where it's going to be, when it is, and everything about it, and how can people get tickets and all of that good stuff. That's what we need to know because this is about you. You could
Yes.
say it's about them, but this is about you. This is your 30 years in the game. This is what you put together. This is what you're promoting, and this is what you're paying for.
Yes. So the show is called Beyond Style. It is a hair and fashion show. It's going to be Saturday, July 27th at Countryside Banquets. Um, we've got it where we're actually showcasing hairstyles from the past 30 years. So we've got four different categories. One is the roaring 20s. One is
Billie Holiday, all of that.
yes,
Yeah,
the finger
yeah,
waves and the
yeah, yeah.
pink curls and
Sh-
the feathers and the shimmies. Yes, and then another category we have is back in the day, your salt and pepper and your afro puffs and even the back in the 90s. This is still back in the day. And then our last two categories is the Renaissance, where anything goes. Avant-garde. Hey, let your mind just work. And then the today, which you see the long curly Beyonce looks and all that, right? And then um, I also have an entertainer, uh, Kara Holmes. She's going to be singing
Okay.
two sets for me. And I have a phenomenal designer lineup. I have Smart Choice Suits from Chicago. They're on Madison and Pulaski. He's going to be styling men, young boys and men. So we'll have fashion for men. And then I have, yes.
I want to put on a suit.
Yes, yes. And then I have Larry with Headpiece Designs. So he's got all different kind of hats. He's going to send some models out there in his fashionable hats. And Mason Tone. So she is fabulous with the denim. Oh my God. And she's doing denim for men and women. So this is gonna be a show. It's not gonna be normal come in and sit down and oh that's cute. No, this gonna be a show. And I'm telling y'all, if you miss it, you're gonna miss a great night. We've got dinner included.
Yes,
Right
on
now
sale.
the tickets are $35. Like I said,
Can we pay at
dinner
the
is
door? Or we
included.
got to pay you now.
You can pay at the door. There's a QR code that if you go on my page, you'll see a flyer and you can actually pull the QR code up. The tickets are on Ticket Leap. You can search Hair Ecstasy Beauty Salon on Ticket Leap. You can get tickets that way, or you can just stop by the salon, 9912 West Roosevelt Road. And I don't want to miss this. If you still if you are a stylist or barber and you want to be showcased, we have over 400 guests. We have sold 400 tickets already. You want to showcase to a crowd that may live in your area. You can get clients this way. Give me a call. There's still opportunity to get in the show. 708-299-8358 is my cell phone number, and I'll give you all the information you need to get into the show to be a stylist and showcase your models.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna pay my money. I could pay my money. I could bring it to the shop. I live right around the corner, so I bring it to the shop. But yeah, man, this is big for me because you know life is carries more than just being an athlete to be successful. You could be successful in anything that you do, and you were a product of that. You know you set the tone, you set the example for that because a lot of kids they want to do the right thing and they want to be in the right way, but they don't talk to the right people, and sometimes that throws the whole game off. But we really appreciate you for coming in and blessing our show. Regina, God bless you. Thank you too.
Peace and blessings to you.
The money minded Toy Capri. We
you for
appreciate
joining
you
us.
also. Now I'm gonna lead this to you. Living advice. What would you give these people out here say, hey, listen, mind your business. Whatever you would tell them to live a good life. What is some of the advice that you would give them?
I would say, ooh.
If you're gonna do it to the best of your ability.
Go for the gusto. Don't second chance yourself.
Mhm.
If you can think it, you can believe it, you can do it.
Yes.
And that's great advice. But as we leave and as we go, we want to thank you once again, Tisha and Regina. Both the advice that we give everybody that before we leave the show is treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
And never give up. And that's how we do it on the Love Movement. So Chicagoland area, thank y'all for having us. And ladies, thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Yeah.
Just got dressed. Need something to get into. Pretty girl on deck.